Good evening. This is Liquiani, and of course, it is Ellie's Hangout every single Sunday from 9:30 p.m. Central European Time. Sorry, did I get that right? That is 9:30 p.m. East African Time, and of course, 7:30 p.m. Central European Time. Tonight, we have an interesting topic and an interesting guest. You know, come to think of it, each time you want a mentor or mentor for that matter, you look up to somebody, and most of the time they are your teachers. And then what happens if the very person that is supposed to tutor you to become that which you long to be actually calls you stupid, not up to the task? And even worse than that, they tell you you will amount to nothing. This is the story of Noreen Ambata. But not to preempt everything she has to say, first let's take a look at this short clip.
But I'm only human. I need no sympathy, I need love.
Welcome to today's lesson on creation of animals. Well, God created different types of animals. He created those that stay at home and those that stay in the forest.
Oh, if you can love me, you really don't need to stay. So go.
Because once they are ruined, at the end of the day, this is something that will affect them at the end of the day. Because right now, you're looking at it as something very simple, but now it has a long-term effect. How will they affect, or how will they affect the child after 20 years, after 10 years, 10 years to come? How will be the relationship of this child with someone else?
And yes, how will they turn out 10, 20 years to come? Tonight, I invite a very, very personal friend. I will call her a very lovely lady. Name is Noreen Ambata. Good evening, Noreen.
Hi, Ellie. Good evening to you. How
Hi,
are
you
you?
looking superb. What is the
Thank
occasion?
Heart in heart.
Well, I will say it's everything about the arts and the heart. And of course, this program is courtesy of Art in Heart, and this is Ellie's Hangout. And we call it Against All Odds because behind these faces lie stories that you all want to listen to. So, for those who do not know, you've seen in the clip, actually, Noreen is a teacher. Noreen, quick introduction of yourself because everybody knows Noreen, the smiley one, but who is Noreen?
Wow. You all know I'm Noreen, but my full name is Noreen
I'm only
Ambata, and I'm a teacher by profession. I really love the Lord. I am saved, and like nothing comes first other than God. And I come from a family of eight, with my sister and I, then six brothers. Yes, six handsome brothers. Yes. So
That
thank
is
you.
quite a family, Noreen. I mean, eight, and are you the first or the last one?
I'm the sixth one.
I know some of you might be laughing at this because I really want to get to know Noreen better. Noreen, when we were
Yes.
talking earlier before we went live, you mentioned a few things about yourself. So tell me, how did you grow up, and why is it interesting to have a sit down with you tonight?
Well, I can say my growing up has been interesting. First of all, I've been that person that everyone would want to associate with, especially in my family. And I my parents really love me. That one I know for sure. And I started school at Wema Academy. I was born in Nairobi but raised in Kakamega. So I started my nursery school by then at Wema Academy. And from there, I went to a public school, which was miles away from where I stay. So tulikuwa tunatembea kwa mguu kwenda shule, but it was so interesting. And yeah, after primary, that I went to, that school is called Musingu Primary. So I went to Musingu Primary School from 2001 to 2005. Then I transferred to Mkumu Girls, St. Mary's Girls Primary School. That is in Mukumu. Yes, Mukumu in Kakamega. So that is where I went, and now I got interaction with girls. I knew how to interact with people from different places because it is a boarding school, and now you have you experience your relationship with different people from different backgrounds and of course different communities. So it was so interesting, but because of financial constraints, I couldn't make it to finish my primary school there. So I went to another public school where I loved it, and I was good with brains and all that, and teachers loved me so much. I was actually the head girl of the school that I went to. And from there, I got an opportunity to go to a bigger school, a high school. Yes.
Oh, when they call you a head girl, are you one of the girls that had the biggest head in the school, or what exactly that's supposed to mean?
Oh, yeah. I headed a student council in our school. Yes. So in Kenya, we call it head girl. So, but I was the head of the students council. Yes.
Great. So being ahead of the Students' Council, I know there's a lot of leadership requirements that's come with it. So tell us something, Noreen. You mentioned to me that a lot of people had doubt, especially teachers, or rather a teacher had doubt in who you are meant to be. How did that come to be about?
Well, as I said, my life has been interesting, and from primary school, I didn't face a lot of difficulties, but things started changing as soon as I got myself in a high school that is so, like, it is a very big school in Western, and that is a girls' school. So that is when life changed. And of course, when you go to a bigger school, you always want people to know where you are. You want people, like, when you put on that uniform, mtu akiona unapita anasema hiyo shule, mtoto wa so and so alienda hiyo shule, and that excitement. And I'm just a form one, but I'm going to share this because most people do not like sharing or their dark past, or rather their dark areas. They only want to show the world their brighter parts. So right now, I'm going to be honest with you and just to tell you where I started from, especially from Form 1, because that is where everything started changing. So I went to this school, and my performance as a Form 1, especially, okay, a Form 1, ukishaingia Form 1, at the end of the term, people would expect you will get an A, like lazima upate A. You got this in KCPE, so in high school, Form 1, lazima ufikishe hii grade. And for me, like, I don't know, but kwanza kabisa kuingia hiyo shule, because kulikuwa na shida na finances, ilikuwa stressful at the beginning, because I wasn't even sure if I will make it to go there in terms of cash, in terms of money, because it was too expensive for us by then. So that excitement of being in school, like, nimesha make it, I'm already in that school, and now siacha ni relax. And little did I know exam inakuja, and now I didn't know your exam ndo ingechange maisha yangu kabisa in that school. So my performance wasn't that good because I scored a C plus. Yeah, Form 1. Na unajua, when you score such a mark in that school, such a grade in that school, like already, like wewe wewe ni kama hauko serious na maisha, because they
C
expect.
plus was a very good grade because I don't know from where I sit because each time they brought exams, I used to see my own questions and the questions that are coming from the exam. And C plus, getting to C plus was actually a good one for those who do not know the grading system. I don't know if it's the same that they still use today, but I want you, Noreen, to continue. And for everybody that is watching, this is Ellie's Hangout. We are hanging out with teacher Noreen. Noreen Ambata is our guest tonight, and she is telling the story behind this beautiful and I would say composed face that you see. Everybody has a story. What's your story? Share with us in the comment section, and please share this link on your own profile. Let your own friends get to watch this. Okay, kabla upeleke kwa groups, share it on your own profile. Okay, tuendelee, Noreen.
Yes. So yeah, as you say, C plus was a very good grade. Yeah. But now hiyo shule ilikuwa na rules zake. Of course, it's a big school na they expect you to be, once you qualify to that school, you have to attain a certain grade. Shida zikaanza hapo. Now going home, of course, my mom at least my dad hapo mnaweza ongea, but my mom alikuwa anakwambia hapa no, unataka ukuwe mjinga. Mimi sijaizaa watoto wajinga, but okay, it was in a lovely way, but I really appreciate my parents until now. So yes, so after the exam, yes, I scored that grade, and of course walimu wanaanza kusema no, this is, you're not supposed to score this grade. Ukishaanza hivi, ukishafika form 3, si hakuna kitu utapata, like utapata 0. So stress. So opening day I have to come to school, and now kuingia na stories za niendelee na second term. So second term opening exam, and now I dropped even drastically, and so I don't know what was happening, but sasa like nilikuwa nikifeel hata kwenda shule nimeshachoka hata miguu, like I don't want to go to school. I don't know if I really loved the school or there was something else. So that is when the judgment began. Like there was a teacher, and I used to take, I'm not going into that. Nikisema hiyo subject, of course my my classmates or my schoolmates watajua already this is teacher so and so. So I used to take a certain block, tulikuwa tunaziita block. So mimi nikaenda, and this teacher alikuwa ananiambia hii performance yako mi sipendi, and time vitu tu ziliendelea kuchange, and now you have to come with parents to school because of your performance they are wanting. And I really thank my parents because they always stood by me, and they always wanted to walk with me in that journey. So in form 2 nilikuwa najaribu, I try my best, lakini things were not working out. Again, as I told you, the issue of school fees, every time list ikikuja class unajua tu mi naenda nyumbani, like I know I'm going home. So hata kama umeanza ku catch up, you just know at the end of the day you have to go home. So I went, like school fees ilikuwa, that was my main challenge when I was in high school. So I could miss a lot of classes, and missing a lot of classes means my performance will go down and down every time. So after that, and now in form 2, reaching a point that okay, I don't feel like going to school. I almost dropped out of school. And now that is the time that I was getting so much harsh comments from this particular teacher. It's a male teacher, and he also happens to be a family, but so like very a distant, like we have a distant relationship with that teacher. So I think they have their own issues, and now he's bringing it all to me and telling me, by the way, wewe hata kuna mahali unaenda, and na hii performance yako, there is nowhere you're going, you're just a fool. And that thing really drained me, and I just felt like, okay, this is too much. So it reached a point, and that's why I'm telling teachers, Aki, if you're a teacher and you're watching this tonight, never force a student to be at a place that they are not yet there, because we have different functioning of, like, our brains function differently. We have fast learners and we have slow learners, and in this case, at that point, I was a slow learner, and this teacher could not just understand and maybe accept me the way I was. So he made me even hate the school more. So being at that point, and
Yeah.
the point of breaking down and like giving up, even with school, I didn't want anything to do with school. I just wanted to be home. I just wanted to be somewhere that I don't know where. And now it forced me to, because si teacher anataka nipite mtihani. Now I'm in form 3. Teacher
Mhm.
anataka nipite mtihani. So what should I do? Si wacha niibe exam juu anataka nipite. So
Okay.
it happened that I had to do that. By bad luck, I was caught. And
Oh, so
it,
you out of the pressure that you were succumbing to, you decided that okay, if you want the results, I'll get you, but I'll get them my way and not
yes,
your way. And that meant you had to cheat your exams.
yes.
Okay.
So it happened that the kind of exam that I taught, he is in the same department. And I just wanted to prove them that mi naweza fanya poa.
Hmm.
Na hiyo kufanya poa is for me to cheat.
Yep.
And I know cheating is good, but I was pushed to a place whereby I need to please you, and this is the only way I can do for me to be able
Hmm.
to please you. So I did that, but nobody knows, even in my family, no one knows what I did. So I cheated, and I was caught. So after being caught, and he happened to be the person who was so close following the case, with following the case of cheating, and nikapelekwa, kulikuwa na place fulani ilikuwa inaitwa Square. My schoolmates can relate. So that was a place for criminals in our school. So that is where I was taken to, and now I was meant to kneel the whole day, and now he could come there and do akaanza the abuses, like you will go nowhere, you just a fool and everything. And I looked at myself and I told myself, Noreen, you know what? You're not a fool, because I knew and I knew and I knew that I wasn't. But there were so many things that were happening, especially the school fees thing and everything. And I'm always in and out of school. Ah, it was so bad. It was so bad. So nikaambiwa nibaki detention because of what was happening. Because of what happened. So yeah, of course nilikula hiyo detention, and there was nothing I could do. Nikamwatu sasa, after DT meisha, I went home. So but going home, coming back to school the other year, it was so bad. I was supposed to repeat the same class.
Wait,
And
you
now,
you were caught, asked to go into detention where you're being insulted over and over, and then after that you had to come back to the same school. Which exactly year of school is this? Are you talking about the second or the third year of school?
this is the third year of school that I was forced to cheat.
Okay.
That was my year of high school. And now that third year, that exam, nilijaribu, but sasa, because of that and because of the cheating issue and everything, so nili have to rewind. Like I was told, hey, itabidi rewind. So I
So
had
you had to
to,
repeat your school year, the third year.
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
So
so much. Mm-hmm.
sorry, I'm a little bit, because we want to get every part of this story. So after you were obliged to repeat the school, did you actually retake that school year, or what exactly happened to you? And having faced, I will call them abuses and mistreatment from the teacher that you were talking about, how did it then influence your decision making in matters academics?
Well, um, my high school life imekuwa refu. Like nimesoma high school ni kama nasoma university medicine school or
Wait,
something.
wait, what are you trying to say? How long did you spend? Because I think it's supposed to be 4 years.
Now we are getting there. Now we are getting there. So I'm told to rewind. So I went home. We of course had a talk with my parents. Of course they didn't like the performance, but they're trying to think like what could be the problem. Because you've been bright all along, not had issues even at school where you've been in primary, and all of a sudden your performance is so bad. What is happening? But for my parents really understood me. They took me like the way I was, and they appreciated me every single time. But I'm at a place where no one appreciates me, and this is school. So I'm supposed to come back next the next academic year, and now I have to rewind the same class. Si sasa wacha stress inishike. Now I'm supposed to be in this class. Niko na watoto wenye walikuwa wananiita mom. Like now, form twos now they're coming to form three, and now I have to go with them like in the same class. I was so much stressed, and it was so bad. Until now, the whole of this year, I became unwell. Like I was so sick. It was seriously bad.
Were you
Like,
physically sick, or was it just something that was going through your mind? And to what level did this extend?
well, first of all, it was mental. Like I couldn't imagine myself being there. Like I was in denial. Like how? Because most of my friends are ahead of me, and we are used to each other. And sasa imefika point yenye now I have to let go and now start another life with another group that I don't know anyone. So being there, my my mental health was very poor. And at this point I decided to, okay, like even eating a single food at school, maybe I could have severe abdominal pain. It was so bad. It was not ulcers, but ilianza too. So I could go to the hospital, a nearby hospital. Of course, it is a big hospital, so I could go to a nearby hospital. And now going there, wananiambia, hey, we can't see anything. So the next thing, I'm admitted at the same hospital, and now the person who is there with me is my parent, my mom, and she's there the whole time, nadungwa masindano, and I can't do anything. I cannot walk, I cannot stand, I cannot bend. It was so bad. I cannot eat. Nilikonda, like it was so bad. So my dad decides, okay, I think hizi hospitali za huku Kakamega sita, like it is, we can't see anything. So let me take you to a different hospital. So I was taken to Memorial Hospital, and I thank Memorial Hospital. I was taken to Memorial Hospital because my dad is a military, so I had an opportunity to enjoy the facilities at Memorial Hospital. That is where I was. And so being this sick, remember we are going, like it is almost the whole year, like we are almost at the end of the year. Sijakuwa shule because of this sickness. And it started with mental, and now it may affect it, like my stomach. I cannot eat anything. I can't do anything. It was so bad. So I could only survive on vegetables, and that is like 2 spoons of tablespoons of vegetables. Those are greens, and digestive biscuits and water. That is the only thing I could take. And even the intake wasn't too much. Like I could take slides of it. So that was how it was. And now being in Nairobi here at Memorial Hospital, now the physician suggests that, oh, this girl needs to go for a theater, an operation, because her intestines are not functioning, like zimefungana, you know. So like it was to be pap, and my dad had to agree to that and all that. So I happen to come from my mom comes from a born again family, and they're so strong in prayers and
Wait,
all that.
wait on that, Nori, because I want to dip into that. And the guys, in case you're joining us tonight, we're hanging out with Teacher Noreen. Teacher Noreen is actually one of a very close persons to me, and some of these stories I'm actually hearing them for the first time, but I find them amazing because at the end of the day, I believe they're gonna touch and transform your lives, and that's why we do Ellie's Hangout every single Sunday from 9:30 p.m. East African time. So do join us and share the link. Let us engage. So Noreen, here you are. You've been asked to actually see a surgeon for that matter to actually operate on you because your intestines were literally blocked. How did that go with the family and your mom? I want to discuss that when we come back. For now, let's take a quick short break and we'll be right back in a moment.
There will be other competing outside factors that will affect your relationship. Like you have an issue with your partner, the first thing you do, you run to your friends, you run to your sisters, you run to your peers to get advice.
We have weak men out there, and there are men who are weak in all areas. So probably talking to somebody else about your sexual experiences in bed might have been their way of getting the other woman. I don't know. So I will not sit and defend that.
Masculinity is the nature of a man. Do we create nature?
Even as we say that the boy child is under siege, we need to ask ourselves, how have we brought up this boy child that we're talking about? Is it the Kababa generation? As long as it's the Kababa generation, we will always have problems.
And yes, indeed, every Tuesday, that is with one James Mwathi right here on Facebook Live. Do join us every Tuesday. We are talking tonight on Against All Odds with Teacher Noreen, and Teacher Noreen has an amazing story that you all need to listen to. So before we took this break, Noreen was telling us about her life in school and how it ended up affecting her mentally and even physically, including how health physically. So what happened? Before we get to that, let's see what we have on the comment sections. And Noreen, a lot of love coming all your way here from Fifi Parts and the rest of the crew. Anne Serafin, karibu sana. Susie Love, Susie, huku watu wamehang ama ni kwangu tu? Okay, I hope we are still live because according to me, everything is running smooth. Susie, kindly check on your connection. We have Kipro Roda, sad face. I hope she is actually trying to understand where you're coming from. One here from Godis Jarawi says, Kenyan system has been a scam for a very, very long time. I believe this is the education system. Their focus is on grades, but not the ability of a student. And I do agree with that to some extent. The feeling of repeating, yeah, that was earlier on before we got into the discussion. And yes, many more coming in. Let's have this again from Anne Serafin, who says, Aki, hope schools have stopped treating students like this. And I believe if you were following the discussion, she's actually referring to how students are actually mistreated in the name of being corrected for their misgivings. Let's go ahead and Noreen, we're back. Your story behind this phase. Now you're sick and you have to be operated on to fix your intestine problems. What happened?
Wow. So during that time, I remember my dad was so emotional. And dad, if you're watching this, I know what you've gone through, and you used a lot of money just to make sure that I'm okay, and it wasn't a good feeling at all. So yeah, I'm supposed to go for surgery, and it was a hit to the family, and of course my brothers and my lovely sister. Thank you so much, my sister Anne. I really love you from the bottom of my heart. You've been there with me and for me. I really love and appreciate you. So they pray for me. Like my sister Anne used to pray, like every time was for her to pray that that thing doesn't go through. Like, I don't go for surgery. And now my mom decides to now to contact the brother who is a bishop actually, and they said, okay, no, God, we are not allowing this to happen. We need to pray. Like, my family prayed for me, and I can tell you for sure I did not go for the surgery. I was only told to travel to Coast. That is where my uncle stays. And now it was just prayers and prayers. Like, we took time to pray, and believe you me, I got healed. Like, I got healed, and that was it. So he also suggested that I should not go back to that school. Maybe I'm not like I'm not comfortable with the school. So he gave suggestions of me transferring to another school. So that was around in October, or in October. No, it was around in November. So November, of course, exams are going on, and now we have to sit for the final exam, for the yearly exam. That was the third term exam for us to get promoted to the next class. So I could not, like, I went back to school, and yeah, I knew I was healed, but skirts zangu zote, as they couldn't fit. So who goes to buy new uniform? Now my dad again. And remember, pesa yote amekuwa nayo, tumekuwa tukizunguka hospitali, from hospital to hospital, because of my health. And now going back to school, so yeah, I went with the new school uniforms because I had to fit in like a small uniform now. Nilikuwa nakaa mtoto, by then nilikuwa nakaa some mtoto class 5 because I was too small. The like my health ilifanya nikakuwa mdogo kabisa, and it was so bad. So I'm going back to the same school, but hey, my heart was not there. And now meeting the same teacher again, and now other students do not want to associate with you because they feel like you don't want to go to school. They feel like you're not a student or something else. And during that time, even people thought that maybe nilipata ball and I aborted. But I forgive you for that. I forgive you for that because I was very sick. I forgive you for that. If you say that, I know you did. And if you're watching this, I'm sorry, but nakusamea, like, I forgive you because it wasn't what you thought it was. So it wasn't an abortion thing because at that time I knew no man. Like, I was not in any relationship, so there is no way I could do such a thing. So being at that point, going back to that school, so my dad decides, Aki, I want to take you to another school, though a private school, a bigger school also. So, but the school fees was too high, but he would say he would sacrifice for me because my life and my health was so bad that he spent even more that he expected, and it is just okay if he can divert the money to my academic, in a better school. But unfortunately, I could not go to that school. I think my brother said that he daddy hapana, wacha tu aende maybe shule ingine. So they decided now you're not going back to that school. I'm afraid to mention the name of the school. You're not going back to this school. So I was taken to a different school. Now this is where my story began. And St. Ursula's Chamakanga girls, if you're here, any teacher that is watching here, I really appreciate the care that, like, you really took me in the way I was, and you changed the whole perspective, and I really appreciate it. Because the moment I entered that school, the moment I was enrolled to that school, now I'm coming back to repeat the same class. This is the second time because remember the whole academic year sikukuwa shule, so nikajambia now I'm repeating the same class the second time.
So
That
wait a
is
minute.
cool.
Let me just get quick arithmetics here. You are supposed to have done that school year once. That means you went for the second time. And ideally, this is like the third time in the same class. That's what you mean?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
I think you got a PhD at the end of that study.
No, akisi wangenipatia tu PhD, but wow, it was what it was. So I accepted, and now that God had given me the privilege to live and to experience the goodness of life. So
Mhm.
I was happy in a new environment
So
where
now those are
people,
5 years in school now, if I got that correct, instead of 4 years, and that is the third year of the school.
yes, yes.
Okay. So the person that joined the same school when you were in your second year actually left you in the same school with 1 year ahead.
Yes, yes, very true. Yes.
Did this
So,
break your spirit, Noreen, in any way? Did this break you
wow.
down, or was this an encouragement to even actually take advantage that things had taken a turnaround now that your health was back into place and you had a new environment? Doing the same class for the third time, did it break your spirit, or was it a point of encouragement?
Now from hospital going back to now my previous school, I felt like I keep on animaliza, like I'm breaking down again. Like I can't do this again because I'm going to face the same mistreatment from that teacher and now from other students and now wale wengine pia wenye tulikuwa nao wanaenda the other class and I'm supposed to be with now the younger ones wenye wameingia shule juzi, now in the same school. Like that one really broke me. Nikasema I cannot do this anymore. So good thing enough, going to now the decision that my parents made for me to go to the other school, it really motivated me because now I'm in a new environment. Who will know? Like it is only me who knows my past and my parents, of course, my family. So I'm in a different environment where no one knows me and I'm ready to start all over again. And I knew at the end of this, I will be somewhere. So St. Ursula's Girls made me love school. Like hata shule ingefungwa, like at the end of the term now I'm supposed to go home. Like I just feel like I just need to be at school. Like everything about school is fun. And I really thank God because I met interesting friends. Like we really Maggie, I know you're watching this. Maggie, thank you so much for being a loyal friend to me. I really love you and we loved being together, studying together, challenging each other. So like
Mhm.
I always got motivated and people would look up to me and I was so good at English and we could compete. We could compete at that point. So I got motivated. Of course, nataka kusoma. Like I'm excited by the end of the term. I'm going to show my parents nimescore hivi. And one thing for those who are watching, you see the man you're watching right now, this gentleman, you've contributed a lot to my life. And I really love you and I thank you as your baby sister. Ellie, you have done me great. Ellie paid my school fees. Ellie shopped
That's
for me.
that's the point I look for, tissue. Too bad I have nobody to help me out. Anyway,
Yeah. So
carry on, Nori.
being in this school and I remember ulikuwa tu umeanza job and now things had started to unfold and yeah, you decided you're paying school fees for me. You used to shop for me and you used to check on me whether I have everything. And that was the point that I think being in this school, that was the moment that our family had issues, like our nuclear family. And it is so unfortunate that it hit me at this point. But I thank God for my siblings. They stood in for me and they were ready to work with me. I could even call Edwin, I know you're watching this. Thank you so much. There was a time my dad could not even afford sending me some upkeep money because I'm supposed to go for a trip somewhere and Edwin could come in. I really appreciate. I really appreciate. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So being at this point, of course, I got excited and everything about school was just wow. So being at that point, Hey, hey. Sorry for that. Um, this is where I discovered myself. This is where I knew that the teachers made me know that I had a talent. They made me appreciate myself. They made me know that I'm bright. They walked with me. They would always follow up on me. Noreen, why haven't you done this and this? You're a very bright girl with such high marks, and you need to do this. Like they used to remind me every time. And now that was like I saw like wow. So like nisipofanya hivi, our teachers wanna feel vibaya. So I need to keep on moving and moving. This Saint Nicholas, why am I saying Saint Nicholas? Saint Ursula's teachers, if you will ever watch this or if you're watching this, I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I could be no one, as my other teacher told me, but because I met you, because I had an opportunity to be in this school, that that is what brightened me up. So yeah, I got a chance to go to participate on in a certain music something like it was music competition. So I emerged the best. And now they said wewe tunakulipia school fees. It was a sponsorship. Well, you just don't know how I felt. Like my dad looked at it akasema this was the right school for you to go. And they just wish they could have discovered this early.
You know,
Nikamaliza like
Noreen,
yeah.
I don't know who is watching this or what you're listening to, but some things are too deep. Probably not for you, but for some people, some things are too deep. And yes, Noreen is my last born sister. Though this is Ellie's Hangout and everybody is invited. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Indeed, for those who do not understand that language, it simply means God is great. And sometimes we have to go through some difficult moments to understand that life is not just about us, it's about the people around us. And above all, there is someone who has it in control. Noreen Ambata is my guest tonight, and unlike other occasions, she's here to tell her story. And her story is a story that I believe can move us. We have talked about her journey. So, Noreen, St. Ursula opened a door and a window of you to see things in a different way, even as we go towards the conclusion of this story, because I know we can do it the whole night and we can never have enough of this. What do you think about investing in the right people around your life? How can that affect your life in a different way to make you be better?
Wow. First of all, it is a blessing for someone just to thank you. And whatever you do, whenever God put you somewhere, He put you there with a purpose. Because, um, like being a teacher comes from God. Like it is a God-given job, and now you have to do it and do it so good, so well, as if you're going to die the next day. And when doing that, make sure that whoever you are imparting the knowledge to, they always look up to you. They'll always appreciate you. They'll always know, I want to make so and so happy. So, me being a teacher right now, every time I wake up in the morning, I tell myself, I need to make this student better. Do not make a student feel like they are a nobody, feel like they cannot participate in anything. Give that student opportunity to see different things at different angles. And by doing that, you'll enable the child to even have self-confidence, even in the way they associate with other people, even in the way they look in their life, even in the way they are trusting God for things to open up for them. Because for me, if it wasn't Saint Nicholas, Saint God, why is Saint Nicholas in my mind? If it wasn't for Saint Ursula's, I I promise you and trust me, you would not be seeing the Noreen that you're seeing right now, because they made me understand who I am. They made me appreciate myself. They made me know that you are the best. And they saw me as the best every single time, you know. So that is the best thing you can ever do to someone that you are working with or you are imparting knowledge to, the students. These are the most critical people. They're the most critical beings to deal with. So you have to handle them with care. And I decided to be a teacher because I didn't want any of my students to go through what I went through. I wouldn't want any of my parents, like the parents who I teach their children, to spend money because of what I'm doing to their children. I don't want that to happen. I am a teacher and this came from God, and now I have to take it to completion because that is what God started in me, you know. So me being accepted, even having met someone that would love me and appreciate this story and just love me the way I am, someone that I would want to spend the rest of my life with, it is a blessing. Because like being in that school, the previous school yenye nilipita hizo shida zote, now hata kuassociate na now the boys from now the other school people could see and say, "Mai, huyu ni ule wa hiyo shule." It was a sad story. It was a sad story. And now just meeting this man of my life, and I really appreciate you. I know you are watching, and honestly, I appreciate you for appreciating me and accepting me the way I am. I might not be perfect, but you're the perfect thing that has ever happened to me. And I will love you forever. I love you and I love you so much. So I know you've never had, you never knew what I went through. You don't know what I went through, but now you're hearing this for the first time. And it is true, this is what I went through. You know, this is what I went through. And it has been eating up my mind so much. But finally, I got an opportunity to share, not just to share with you, but to share with the world. Yes.
Yes, of course,
Anything?
Noreen, we are glad to actually get to hear the part of your story. I mean, there is power in storytelling, and there is power in sharing our unique stories. Because out of our uniqueness, greater things are meant to come, and greater things are meant to be done in this city, in your city, and in the city that you occupy. So, this is what we do at Ellie's Hangout every single Sunday, 7:30 p.m. Central European Time, and of course 9:30 p.m. East African Time. We discuss your story. Noreen, you've broken a couple of guys here some heart, and you've actually put me on the spot because for a long time people said you're my girlfriend.
We are sorry. We are sorry for making you feel like Ellie and I date, but now you know Ellie has been there for me, and I have every reason to love him. I have every reason to thank him. Like, like my brothers are like my second dad, like baby, I owe you a lot. And my beautiful sister, of course, mi nakupenda sana, and I know you know that. And I look up to you every time, and there are things that you do, and I admire you so much. And Ellie, yes, you're so handsome, and I've always told you that. So hata ukiona nimepost picha, remember he's my bro, and I really love him.
Okay,
Yes,
before we forget, we actually doing a show, and we can spare a few of these comments later on. List people think you're having a family reunion online. Anyway, this is what happens when you get to work with the kind of people that you look up to and the kind of people you admire. Noreen is one of those people, and she's actually a teacher. Take a look at this.
China is thousands of miles away from this Kenyan school, but these students are learning Mandarin. Earlier this year, Kenya's education ministry announced that all schools will start Mandarin lessons by 2020. That's because policymakers want kids to get an early start on a language that is becoming increasingly important. China's influence in Africa is steadily growing. Since 2000, it has given out more than 143 billion in loans to African countries.
Noreen, that is a documentary or news item that was done for you on CNN. You're such a big wig. Where are we headed with Chinese? I mean, I know the other day you really castigated them for whatsoever reasons, but on a lighter note, does it not sound more of a deja vu? You were a teacher, rather, a teacher was after you, quote unquote, and today you are that which you hated the most, the teacher. What can we do different?
Wow. So like I got motivated because you
Mhm.
know like of course after finishing high school, after I'm done with high school, my sister made me meet my mentor, and up to date she is my mentor, and my mentor happens to be an expertise in Chinese language. So I was taught Chinese at Mandarin Revealed. So that is where I studied my Chinese. And, I would love to do everything like she does because she was a teacher to me and a mentor to me too. So again, I looked up to her and I enjoyed the way she taught, the way some, I could master Chinese, especially when she speaks, when, everything that she does about Chinese during the lesson, like it was wow. And even the way she used to share her stories during the classes, like it was so beautiful. And now that is how I got my first job of Chinese language, like to teach Chinese language. So from here, Chinese language. So I told myself, okay, I only have Chinese. What else can I do to add on this Chinese? So that is when I decided now, let me deal with kids because I have worked with kids. I've taught them Chinese, and big ups to Lakewood group of schools, because that is where I got my first job. Wow. Yes. That is where I got my first job as a teacher of Chinese. And now from there, I got motivated to be just a normal teacher. And now I went to college to study teaching. That is now what opened up, and that is where I am right now. I'm enjoying being a normal teacher, and also now my Chinese teaching is my side hustle. So if I go to a school, what else can you offer? I have Chinese, so I can teach the normal subjects and also teach Chinese, and now we can negotiate from there. Of course, hautanifinyilia chini sana because I have something that most people do not have. Yes.
I mean, and I love the fact that you say you have that which not most people have. So, what is your story? You We all have unique stories, and that's why we do this. And I remind you every single day, you cannot be any other person. You are you, and you're custom made to be you. You just have to realize and notice the kind of potential you carry on. Let's see what they say in the comment section. We have Anna says, Leo ni kufungua roho. That's what I call total healing. Be blessed, my sister. Good one, good one. This one is so touching from Sarah and Jonjo. And we have Lean Onme, who says, what was the story? I joined in late. Lane, we are talking about against all odds behind this face. If you have met Noreen, she's bubbly, but she has a story that you need to listen to. So, in case you missed out on this, hit back the replay button after the live show and you'll be able to rewatch this. You can equally watch this live on Facebook and YouTube. That is with the handle The Arts in Heart Official. Again, Sarah and Jonjo, I salute all teachers who encourage their students. Very important. That is also from Marky Pro. Roda, who says, so true. And yes, we need real life stories. Thank you so much. Trey, that's the name. Mnaweza nileta pia mimi one day nilete yangu, najua itagusa wengi. Definitely, this is where everybody gets to tell their story. We do not have special guests. Everybody to us is a VIP. Okay. So much love coming your way, Noreen. I cannot exhaust all the messages, but one in one, they all say that this is a story worth listening to. Final remarks, Noreen, as we conclude our talk for the night.
Wow. Now, Ellie, thank you so much for hosting me and being able to share my story. And I know if you are watching me, the ones that are watching me, and I know after this you're going to share the video. And please just appreciate anyone that is under you. You just never know how you touch their life, because at the end of the day, they'll have to affect you like either negatively or positively. So I had that I had that in my mind, I had that in my heart, and now I have relieved it. So I know, teacher, you are watching and you've insulted me, but I forgive you. Or if you're not watching, you will watch some other time, but I have forgiven you from the bottom of my heart. Na hata isitoshe, if we meet somewhere, be free and tell me, by then, Noreen, I'm sorry for what happened, and we can grab something together. So to all teachers, continue doing what you're doing. That is a calling. Being a teacher is a calling, you know, like it comes from above. So do your work as if you're dying tomorrow. Love those children as if they're your own. Appreciate them, encourage them, walk with them and talk to them every time. Try and find out what may be hurting to them. And at the end of the day, you will have met their their mental health will be at a higher level. So that is it from me, and thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for watching. Asanteni sana.
What a great way to actually come to the conclusion of this interesting or against all odds topic. And as I said, we can change lives, and changing lives starts with one individual. So let's do this again next week, same place, same time. And on Tuesday, meet me with James Mwati and Gilbert Makomere as we talk about alcoholism in families when we discuss in the men's den. So see you on Tuesday as we tackle this. For the rest of the viewers, thank you so much for making time and, of course, engaging us. We appreciate your feedback. Continue sharing this information to each and every person. Remember that this is not the end of the discussion. This is just but the start of a greater discussion. Let's change lives, let's impact lives, and above all, let's forgive one another. There's nothing greater than love that comes from a forgiving heart. So, Noreen, thank you again for making it to the show. I appreciate you. Be the best that you are, because you are meant for greater things. Till next time, tuendelee tupendane tulivyo. Ciao. Ciao, ciao. My name is Lukiani Eli, and this is Eli's Hangout every Sunday, right here on Facebook Live and YouTube. See you next time.
Ulitizama kitanda changu kimejaa kunguni, godoro inchi mbili, ukasema wanipenda. Simu yangu masekete, nguo zangu matambara, viatu vilivyochapishwa viraka, ukasema wanipenda kutoka ndani ya roho. Tulipoenda bafuni nawe, sabuni ya kipande, uzini wa gunia, ukasema ujali, fanaka utoka kwa Mola. Sasa iweje leo hii nasikia fununu toka kwa rafiki zako kuwa wanipa talaka? Sasa iweje leo hii hadithi za kuaminika zaniambia mapenzi haya yamekuchosha? Sasa iweje leo hii naambiwa sema umasikini wangu wewe umekuchosha? Ninachoomba baby, nipende nilivyo. Baby, nipende nilivyo. Zawadi ya fanaka hiyo kutoka kwa Mola, mafanikio kutoka kwa Mola. Baby, baby, ninachoomba mimi, nipende nilivyo. Baby, nipende nilivyo. Zawadi ya fanaka hiyo kutoka kwa Mola, mafanikio kutoka kwa Mola. Baby, 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 oh. Sipendelei nikikuona watembea miguu wakati wenzio wako kwenye magari ya kifahari. Oh baby, mimi sipendelei. Unapokula sukuma siku 7 za wiki wakati wenzio wanajiburudisha na minofu kwenye mahoteli pia sipendelei. Ninakiri ni uwezo sina, nipende nilivyo. Baby, nipende nilivyo. Eshuji zawadi ya fanaka hiyo toka kwa Mola, mafanikio toka kwa Mola. Baby, 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 ninachoomba nipende nilivyo. Baby, nipende mimi nilivyo. Zawadi ya fanaka hiyo kutoka kwa Mola, mafanikio toka kwa Mola. Baby, 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 ninachoomba